Then guys, just quickly, in recent videos you can find everything, but I wanted to put some touches on these two. Andrey Santos to Manchester United is done, and today is time for the medical. The player is traveling for medical test and contract signing, so today in Manchester United close Andrey Santos deal. Also, second medical check for Ederson will be this week. And so this week, probably from now to the weekend, we will understand any moment if Man United will proceed with the Ederson deal with Atalanta or not. So we wait for the second medical for Ederson.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to United Focus. And what an absolutely enormous day of Manchester United news across transfers, squad planning and infrastructure. Manchester United's second signing of the summer is having his medical right now. The Chumeni dream has been definitively ended by a new Real Madrid contract. Rashford is set to return to training despite everything. A potential third midfield signing has been identified. The new stadium location has been officially confirmed. This is one of the most packed United news days of the entire summer. Let's get through every single detail. Right, let's start with the confirmed breaking development. Andrey Santos is undergoing his Manchester United medical right now, according to Sky Sports. David Ornstein of The Athletic confirmed the agreement between United and Chelsea. United will pay an initial £48 million for the 22-year-old Brazilian midfielder, with a further £2 million in additional add-ons described as achievable. Chelsea have also negotiated a 10% sell-on clause as part of the agreement, so the total deal is worth up to £50 million. Santos is set to become the second official signing of the Michael Carrick era at Manchester United, joining Ederson, whose own medical and official paperwork are still pending completion after the Brazil midfielder's return from the World Cup. Now, let's be honest about what this signing represents, because it is important to have clear eyes here. Santos is 22 years old. He came through the Chelsea system after joining from Vasco da Gama in 2023 for £18 million. He has shown significant promise during loan spells, but found consistent minutes impossible to come by at Stamford Bridge, sitting behind Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the pecking order. He wants regular football, he wants to play a central role, and at United he has a genuine pathway to exactly that. Is he the elite, experienced, world-class holding midfielder that United desperately need as the direct Casemiro replacement? Honestly, not yet. His potential is clear, his profile is interesting, but at 22, coming from a situation where he could not get into a Chelsea midfield that itself has been inconsistent, the questions are legitimate. What Santos is an affordable upside option alongside Ederson that gives Carrick variety and youth in his central midfield, while the club continues to pursue a more established name as the third midfield signing. At £50 million, if he develops into the player his talent suggests he can be, this is smart business. If he is the ceiling of United's midfield ambition, it is not enough. United have said themselves they are not done. The Guardian reporting confirms Carrick is intent on adding a player of more established pedigree as a potential third midfield signing. Santos is piece 2 of what looks like a 3-part midfield rebuild. Now for the news that United fans had been dreading, and it is definitive. Aurélien Tchouaméni has agreed a new long-term contract with Real Madrid. French journalist Fabrice Hawkins confirmed that an agreement has been reached between the midfielder and the club, with the new deal set to be finalised imminently. That is it. The Tchouaméni chapter is closed for this summer. Jose Mourinho wanted to keep him, Madrid wanted to keep him, and Tchouaméni himself, despite United's formal contract offer, has decided his future remains at the Bernabeu. Fabrizio Romano's assessment is worth noting here for completeness. He has maintained throughout that United were never truly close to this deal due to the salary demands involved and Madrid's consistent reluctance to sell. In hindsight, perhaps the noise around United's pursuit was louder than the underlying reality ever justified. But the pursuit was real, the desire was genuine, and losing him stings regardless. There is an interesting consolation prize of sorts. Real Madrid are now said to be open to selling Eduardo Camavinga instead. Liverpool and Manchester City are also chasing his signature, meaning United would face serious competition for the Frenchman too if they pivoted in that direction. United must now refocus their remaining midfield budget on achievable, realistic targets and stop waiting for doors that are not going to open. So where do United go for that third, more established midfield addition? The Guardian have identified 2 specific names Carrick retains genuine interest in. First, Alex Scott of Bournemouth. We have covered this exhaustively. Bournemouth have made clear he is not for sale this summer. He has turned down multiple contract extensions, presumably keeping his options open for a future move. But this summer, the Cherries are not selling regardless. Chelsea have now also emerged as potential rivals for Scott after missing out on Granit Xhaka. So if United do decide to push hard for Scott, they will face Chelsea competition on top of Bournemouth's resistance. Any deal would cost a minimum of £80 million, according to The Guardian. United are assessing whether to test that stance in the coming weeks. Second, Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace. The Europa Conference League winner has been described as a generational talent by those tracking him closely. A calm, composed midfielder with remarkable poise and technical ability. Wharton has been on United's radar for some time, and The Guardian confirm he remains of genuine interest. He is also attracting attention from Liverpool. A minimum £80 million fee is the expected price point here too. Now, both Scott and Wharton carry a concern we have discussed before. Neither is a natural defensive midfielder in the mould of Casemiro or Chumeni. The genuine holding role, the position that provides the defensive shield Rice provides for Arsenal, that Casemiro once provided for United, remains the gap that Santos, Scott or Wharton does not perfectly fill. Ayyoub Bouaddi, huge test tonight against France. And speaking of midfield targets, Ayyoub Bouaddi is in action tonight as Morocco face France in the World Cup quarter-finals. This is an enormous stage for the 18-year-old Lille sensation. He will be going head-to-head with none other than Aurélien Tchouaméni, the player United just missed out on. The contrast between the established star extending his Madrid contract and the teenage prodigy trying to win a World Cup quarter-final will be fascinating to watch. The Athletic's Manchester United correspondent Laurie Whitwell has flagged something genuinely interesting about United's potential pursuit of Bouaddi. That Lenny Yoro played with him at Lille before joining United and could potentially serve as a persuasive voice in the background if United decide to pursue the signing. As Whitwell put it, maybe if agent Bruno couldn't get the job done, maybe agent Lenny can. A charming and potentially very relevant detail. City remain favourites for Bouaddi given their willingness to accept Lille's loan-back preference. But United's Euro connection gives them a genuine angle that pure financial power cannot replicate. Tonight's World Cup quarter-final performance against France, against elite opposition at the highest level, will be another data point that either strengthens or raises questions about where the teenager actually is in his development. Every United fan should be watching closely. Marcus Rashford, returning to United training after all. Right, this one has developed in a slightly unexpected direction. Marcus Rashford is poised to return to Manchester United training, according to The Guardian, set to be part of Carrick's squad when United's pre-season begins in Dublin. The context is important here. United have put Rashford up for sale and set an August 9th deadline for his future to be resolved. But no official bid has yet been received from any club. The August 9th deadline is approaching and there is simply no completed deal on the table. The Guardian report that there are no issues between Rashford and new head coach Carrick specifically. It is the broader club situation and the relationship breakdown with management above that level that has caused friction. Carrick himself is apparently fine with Rashford and willing to give him a chance in pre-season if the transfer does not happen. The plan, if no transfer materialises before pre-season, reintegrate him into the squad. Now, this changes the Somerville calculation slightly. If Rashford stays, the urgency of signing a left-sided forward reduces somewhat. United still have Patrick Dorg and Matthias Cunha as options on the left, plus Rashford himself if he is back involved. Whether Somerville remains the priority in those circumstances will be a key strategic question for Carrick's team. The August 9th deadline is the key date. If a buyer comes before then, Rashford goes. If not, he is potentially back in the fold for now, with the situation likely revisiting itself in January. And finally, genuinely exciting infrastructure news that gives United fans something massive to look forward to beyond the transfer window. Manchester United have officially confirmed that their proposed new 100,000-seat stadium will be built approximately 350 metres northwest of Old Trafford, as part of the wider Trafford Wharfside regeneration project. 100,000 seats. The biggest stadium in the United Kingdom, the centrepiece of a development that also includes new homes, improved transport links, and year-round sports and entertainment facilities. United are expected to continue playing at Old Trafford during the estimated 5-year construction period. The master plan will now go before Trafford Council for approval later this month, before entering an 8-week public consultation if it gets the green light. This is genuinely transformational for Manchester United as a football club, beyond just the team on the pitch. A stadium of that scale, at that level of modern architecture and supporter experience, puts United in a completely different economic and prestige category for the next 50 years. Exciting times, even if it is a long way off. Let's bring everything together on July 9th, 2026. Confirmed signings: Ederson, medical and paperwork imminent. Andrey Santos, medical underway, £50 million, second signing. Chumeni, over. New Real Madrid contract signed. Definitively not happening this summer. Third midfielder, Scott or Wharton most likely, both minimum £80 million, Bournemouth still resistant on Scott, Chelsea now competing. Camavinga, potential alternative from Real Madrid, Liverpool and City also interested. Bouaddi, tonight's World Cup quarter-final against France, massive. Euro connection gives United a unique angle. City still leading. Rashford, returning to training with no bids received. August 9th deadline still relevant, Somerville pursuit may be reassessed. New stadium, officially confirmed location, 100,000 seats, biggest in the UK, 5-year build. Old Trafford continuing as home during construction, pre-season, starting in Dublin today. This summer has been more complicated than anyone imagined for United's midfield rebuild. Anderson gone, Fernandes gone, Tchouaméni gone, but Ederson and Santos arrive as the first two pieces. A third, more established name is coming, and the new stadium news is a reminder that this club's long-term trajectory remains genuinely exciting under the right leadership. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss any further updates, particularly on Bouaddi's performance tonight and the third midfield pursuit. Smash that like button if you enjoyed today's coverage, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Happy with Santos as signing number 2? Does the Chouaméni news hurt? And who do you want as the third midfielder? I will see you in the next one. According to The Sun, Manchester United have set a deadline of August 9th for Rashford's future to be resolved. The club want his situation sorted before he is due to return to pre-season after the extended break required by his participation in the World Cup with England. This deadline makes complete sense from a practical standpoint. If Rashford is staying, he needs to be available for pre-season preparation and the work Carrick needs to do with his squad before the new season. If he is leaving, United need the deal done before pre-season begins so they can plan their squad around his absence. Rashford himself has made clear he wants a move away. The Barcelona option fell through when they chose Anthony Gordon instead. Tottenham have expressed admiration but are not willing to pay £40 million. Bayern Munich had been interested, but their pursuit appears to have stalled. August 9th. That is the marker. Watch for rapid movement on the Rashford situation as England's World Cup campaign concludes and the player returns to Manchester. Andrey Santos. Is he actually the right level? Now let's have the honest conversation about Andrey Santos, because it needs to be said directly. Tyrone Marshall on the Manchester is Red podcast addressed this one clearly. Santos is indeed on United's list, but as Marshall pointed out, you would be shocked if he is the man United signed solely to replace Casemiro. His reasoning is straightforward. Santos is behind Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the pecking order at Chelsea. Those are two genuinely excellent elite-level midfielders. Being the backup option to those two does not automatically make Santos the caliber of player needed to fill the Casemiro role at Manchester United. The honest assessment, Santos has potential. He is 22 years old, Brazilian, technically gifted, and has shown promise in loan spells. But this is not a player currently operating at the level of Chouaméni, Fernandes, or the other names United have been targeting. If he comes in as a third or fourth midfielder in the squad, fine. As the primary Casemiro replacement, that would be a significant concern. United need a player who commands the midfield, protects the defence, and has the physicality and experience to dominate in the Premier League and Champions League simultaneously. Santos, at this stage of his development, does not yet profile as that player. If United signs Santos alongside a genuine elite option, great. If Santos is the elite option, that is a problem. The story of United's summer comes down to one question: can they actually land Chouaméni? everything else is supporting cast. If the answer is yes, this becomes one of the most exciting transfer windows in recent United history. If the answer is no, United need to identify and execute a genuinely elite alternative rather than settling for players who are below the required level. The 5-year contract offer to Chumeni is the boldest move United have made in this entire window. Now Real Madrid need to respond. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss how the Chouaméni situation develops. This genuinely could go either way now. Smash that like button if you enjoyed today's coverage and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think United can actually land Chouaméni? Is the Santos option good enough alongside him? And what happens with Rashford before August 9th? In other news. Now here is a situation that is frankly a little bit complicated, and Romano has given us complete clarity on exactly where things stand. Carlos Baleba wants to join Manchester United. Full stop. Romano confirmed this directly on his YouTube channel. The Brighton midfielder is super keen on the move. There are reportedly loose personal terms already in place from discussions last summer. Ben Jacobs has noted that if United want to do this deal, they essentially just have to go to Brighton. Brighton are no longer asking £100 million for Baleba as they were last summer. Their valuation has dropped to around £70 million, reflecting what was a largely underwhelming 2025-26 campaign from the Cameroonian. But, and here is the critical update from Romano, United have gone cold on Baleba. At the moment, United have not returned with an approach or a proposal to Brighton. Romano described the situation as a little bit cold, with United seemingly prioritising other targets first and only potentially returning to Baleba if those bigger pursuits collapse. Now, there is an interesting debate to be had here. Baleba is a genuine defensive midfielder. He presses relentlessly, covers enormous ground, and had some very good moments for Brighton in earlier seasons. Some United observers have argued he could actually be exactly what Carrick needs in the holding role. A different profile from Mainu and Ederson, someone who genuinely protects the defence first. The counter-argument, which United's hierarchy appear to have currently accepted, is that his form last season was inconsistent. His performance at Old Trafford was genuinely disappointing, and £70 million for a player coming off an underwhelming campaign feels like questionable value when better options are being pursued. Romano's advice seems sound. If the big names do not work out, Baleba is sitting right there ready to go. United hold all the cards on this one if they decide to activate it. But for now, the focus is elsewhere. Ederson, still not officially signed. Here is exactly why. Romano has updated us with complete precision on the Ederson situation, and it is now clearer than ever exactly where this deal stands. His exact words on X: "No announcement has been done as the deal is not signed at this stage despite verbal agreement at €45 million fee since June." After initial medical in the US, Ederson has now left as Brazil eliminated, and Man United want to conduct medical in UK. This is a key step ahead of approving the agreement done in June with Atalanta, but still verbal. Nothing is signed yet. Brazil have been eliminated from the World Cup. Ederson has now left the tournament. The verbal agreement between United and Atalanta has been in place since June. The first part of the medical was completed in the United States during the tournament. Now United want Ederson to come to England to complete the official second medical at the club's facilities, which is the final formal step before everything can be signed, sealed, and officially announced. So the timeline from here should be relatively straightforward. Ederson travels to England, completes the UK medical, signs the paperwork, and United announce their first official signing of the Carrick era. This should happen within the next few days once logistics are arranged. United fans, this deal is absolutely solid. Romano is emphatic about that. The only remaining step is a formality. Ederson is coming. Somerville, the left-wing situation continues. Quick update on the left-wing position. Crescencio Somerville remains United's #1 wide target at around £50 million. The Netherlands have been eliminated from the World Cup, freeing the winger to focus fully on his club future. Clarity on this deal is expected soon, with United having already held exploratory discussions with West Ham and Somerville's representatives. The Rashford situation, once resolved upon his England World Cup exit, will directly shape how urgently United move on Somerville. If Rashford goes, Somerville comes in as his direct replacement. If Rashford somehow stays, the calculation changes. The midfield rebuild at United has been genuinely difficult this summer after missing Anderson and Fernandes to rivals. But with Ederson essentially done, Santos as an achievable and affordable addition, Chouaméni as the dream being actively pursued, and several quality alternatives in the background, the pieces are there for a genuine midfield transformation before August.